I wanted to be at Texas State. I chose to be at Texas State. I'm from Texas. That was important to me. I always knew if the right guy got this job, you better watch out.
You better watch out. This is Win Now or Get Bent, episode 159. If you don't already know, I'm Kev Tardello, coming to you on Friday, August 2nd, and fall camp is in session. That's right. Bobcats football is back on the practice field. They started practicing again this week. We got to meet with by we, I mean the media, with GJ Kinney, Josh Eaton, and Cole Wilson on Wednesday. It was nice to catch up with some of those guys, talk about the feels. So really the great part was to see the renovations going around the end zone complex and UFCU Stadium. Got to get used to saying that. Just seeing that. Obviously, they're not going to be completely done with it by the season starts. I know that was something they anticipated doing. It was a pretty tall ask, though, to completely finish this massive project that they're doing. But it's still going to be pretty efficient for fans moving around and everything. I think that's the coolest part, is seeing the stands connected to the end zone complex, and just seeing what they're doing with all of that, and watching them lay the turf, because they're not even practicing at Bobcat Stadium right now. They're practicing on the grass fields over on the other side of baseball and softball, on the other side of the parking lot. That's where they're practicing. Nice little throwback. Reminds me of the Dennis Franchione days. Coach Fran, he loved those practice fields. Used to utilize them all the time. Withers did a little bit too. They kind of really went away with Spav, where they just practiced at Bobcat Stadium using the turf. But Withers would go back and forth as well. But Fran definitely loved him. He used him out there. Oh yeah, this is the intro. We're supposed to get to those ads, aren't we? I'm already getting excited, wanting to talk about fall camp. But before we get to those Bobcats, this episode is brought to you by TGC LLC, the GalindoCollective.com. That's GALINDO, GalindoCollective.com. A team of professional consultants dedicated to helping others realize their business potential through people, planning, and practice. Their services cover a wide range of areas such as business strategy, marketing, human resources, and financial planning. If you own property or a business and want to maximize its profitability, contact TGC at thegalindocollective.com and follow their social media platforms on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at TGC_LLC, and on Instagram and Facebook, the Galindo Collective. Shout out to Rick Galindo, a true Tech State sicko, a Tech State grad. TGC has been with us since before last season, all through the season, and again during this season. Got us to Sunbelt Media Days in New Orleans last week. Can't thank TGC enough for that. Rick Galindo, thank you so much. Got us to Media Day last year, got us to it again this year, got us to the bowl game. I just can't wait to promote and be partnered with TGC all season, shouting their business name from the rooftops. Really proud to have them as a sponsor. And can't thank Rick Galindo enough. But check them out. All your business consulting needs, check them out. That's TGC LLC at thegalindocollective.com. GALINDO, galindocollective.com. We are also brought to you by Chillzy.com, CHILLZEY.com. You can get custom tumblers like the one, if you're watching on YouTube, Win Now or Get Bent, on our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It's your world on there. But I'm holding up a tumbler with a Win Now or Get Bent logo on it. You can order any tumbler you want, any custom logo. You can get a Win Now or Get Bent logo. You can get anything you want, whether it's a work event, family event, any kind of insignia you want to put on there. They've got you. And if you order 6 or more of these tumblers and you punch in Bobcats at checkout, you can get them for $15 a piece, which is a real good deal. Nice big koozie, or nice big tumbler, keeps your drink nice and cool. You can also get custom koozies like the one I'm holding up right here. Some of you got this handed out to you last season. You can get any kind of custom koozie you want from Chillzy.com. They teamed up with us last year. Dennis Redding over there at Chillzy.com, a true Tech State sicko, a Tech State grad. He made it possible that we were able to pass out some of those koozies to y'all last season. We'll have the same situation going this year. We'll have a way to get those koozies to some of you sickos out there. And that's because of Chillzy and Dennis Redding. Thank you to Chillzy, CHILLZEY.com. Check them out. All right, let's get to these Bobcats. It's sponsorship season, so y'all get ready. We're gonna have some more of those. Probably start taking away the optimized ads. When you start the pod and it plays the AI generated ads or what have you. Once we start getting our sponsors in and around, we'll start taking those out. But yeah, hit us up, wnogbkef@gmail.com if you want to sponsor the pod. Heard from some of you already. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to this season. But yes, Bobcats. Let's get to these Bobcats. Quick New Orleans recap. It was great. Another Sunbelt Media Day. Always nice to rub elbows with some of the other media members around the Sunbelt and staff, employees, coaches, players from these other teams. It's a very interesting setting. It's different than settings in years past, especially from last year when we went, thanks to TGC, the GalindoCollective.com. Check them out. We were able to go to Media Day last year as well, and it was much different vibe. Bobcats, I believe, were picked to finish fifth in the West, 10th overall in the conference. More of an afterthought. Hey, thanks for being here. This time it was a little bit more of the toast of the town. They were the first team to be featured on day two, which I always feel is a good sign. On day two is the West, where it was the first team they unveiled. I wonder if that has anything to do with where they were picked in the preseason coaches poll, because that's where they were picked to finish number one in the West on the preseason coaches poll, which is a different feel for this Texas State team. But that goes to show you that it's not just a lot of hometown bias. Not sitting here, just you know thinking the Bobcats are the going to be world beaters because I have rose tinted glasses on, being a on the Bobcat beat, being a Texas State grad myself, a sicko, if you will. It's nice to see that other people understand what's happening with this team as well. And you know what? And that offseason optimism, especially how high it is the right now, that initial feeling, it scares me as a Texas State fan. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. This hadn't been here before. At least not in a long time. It shouldn't feel this way. This feeling should be followed by a bad feeling, right? And then I easily quell those feelings by just objectively looking at this team and thinking about it and just looking at um that was the big thing I'm probably stepping on. I was going to talk about the first day of fall camp a little later. I'm probably stepping on the toes a bit here, but that was one interesting aspect from that press conference was GJ Kinney talking about this was the first time he's gotten uh consecutive seasons in the same place where he's been able to be a part of the offseason process. His whole time being a coach, not even just the head coach. Granted, this is just his third year as a head coach, but his entire coaching career, it's been one and done as he moves up. Rightfully so. He wasn't leaving anybody without an opportunity that would elevate him. So he elevated each year he went up. And I'd say it elevated again. He got a restructured deal up to $1 million a year now. So I'd say he continued that elevation, but now he gets to stay in the same place. To have that continuity at head coach is massive, and they were able to not just retain a ton of the talent that they had last year, but they were able to add to it, infuse it with more guys from the transfer portal, and just make it so that they're deep at every position. I feel like I've said this on the pod already. Sorry if it's a little broken record. I struggle to find the area they're not deep at. Like punter is the one. I don't even know who their punter is off the top of my head. But besides that, I mean, they're great at kicker. Mason Shipley. They're every single position. I mean, you go quarterback. I like the depth there. Running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, corner, safety. They have depth everywhere. Not just the starters, but even the backups and maybe even the guys in on third on the depth chart. I think could go out there and play. Like it's a very deep team. So that depth across the roster paired with the continuity at the coach at the with the coaching staff, granted Pavito left, or no, I'm sorry, not Patke left, defensive coordinator, he went to Duke. But I really like what they did to supplement that. They moved Dexter McCoyle up to co-DC. They moved Bradley Del Pavito as co-DC as well. You kind of have that brand new DC guy and Pavito who has a ton of experience. We've talked about this on pods this summer before, how much I like those two guys at that DC position where they may even be able to elevate this defense because it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, the defense. They were able to get after the quarterback. Lots of sacks, lots of TFLs, not a ton of turnovers. A lot of points were let up. So there's definitely room for improvement with the defense. So even with that one major coaching a switch or addition, if you will. And then Chad Moore's at receiver too. That's another really good one because Stutzman left. And of course Barrick Neely as running backs coach. It's always great to get him back. I just feel the continuity and additions on players and for the players and the staff. It makes it so that this isn't hubris when you see the Bobcats are real confident and other people are really into them. We've been doing the rat poison segment all summer because other people are recognizing what's going on. But it's warranted when you look at it. When you look at this roster, this depth chart, it is warranted. I mean, even with the we were just talking about the preseason polls. There's 8 of them for the Bobcats are on the preseason polls. I think that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, I only have 7 here. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Uh, no, yeah, I just have the 7 there. But yeah, and those 7, we'll go through them. And even with that, I feel like they should be in double digits. There's plenty of snubs for the Bobcats as far as these preseason all Sun Belt teams. First team, we have Ishmael Mahdi, Jordan McLeod, Ben Bell, Joey Hobart, Mason Shipley. No real surprises there with that one. Um, all of those guys have should definitely be first team. Second team, we have Caleb Colt and Cole Wilson. There should be more. There should be more Bobcats, which is crazy to say. It almost feels selfish as somebody who is a Bobcat and covers this team. But I thought they'd be in double digits as far as the all Sun Belt selections. I mean, you got Nash Jones on the offensive line, Josh Eaton at corner, Max Harris. I think he was all Sun Belt second team at ULM last year. That's the guy they're bringing in for linebacker, which that was interesting to talk to GJ Kinney about that linebacker spot. He seemed to really pop talking about the talent they have. Even though they lost Brian Holloway and Dan Foster, they're still able to bring in a lot of really good players, including Max Harris. But Tavian Coleman, he got a single digit. Shout out Tavian Coleman. Terry Webb did too in the D line. Connor Fox at tight end. Stephen Parker, a new defensive end they brought in. Kenny mentioned him at the press conference and how when he played with them at Incarnate Word, they went 12-2. Real special player. That's a guy they designated a single digit. They give him 0. I think it's 0. Sorry for the paper ruffling. I have an actual paper roster. Shout out to Megan Webb. She's been filling in for the sports information department for football and handed us a nice roster at the press conference. Yeah, Stephen Parker, number 0. Max Harris, they gave him number 2, a single digit. Let's go through the single digits. Why not? I didn't prep that as a segment, but we can make this work. Let's go through the single digits for Bobcats because, GJ Kinney did say they'd have to earn it. They'd have to earn that single digit. So nobody had numbers in the spring. Made it very difficult to take notes. Number 0, Stephen Parker. He was the Incarnate Word transfer defensive end. He's going to play a lot. I feel like it's going to be him and Ben Bell, main D ends. 0, Jaden Williams, new wide receiver. Chris Don Jr. was a true freshman last year. He was given number 1. So keep an eye on him. Number 1, Joshua Eaton. He had that one last year. Number 2, Max Harris for the defense. It's a ULM transfer. And then Cole Wilson on offense. He's number 2. Number 3, Jordan McLeod, quarterback. The number 3 on defense, Terry Webb, big old nose tackle wearing number 3. I like that. I like a single digit on a big man. Number 4 on defense, AJ Edwards, Alonzo Edwards Jr. Number 4 on offense is going to be RJ Martinez. Number 5 on defense is Darius Jackson. If you remember, he missed all of last year. Mizzou transfer at safety. Expect him to play a lot this year. Number 5 on offense is Jalen Jenkins. We got 3 running backs with single digits. coming up over here. Oh, I'm sorry, just two. I was assuming Ishmati's single digit. I forgot he kept 21. But Jalen Jenkins, number 5. This is a Washington State transfer. Number 6, PJ Hatter, QB on offense. And for the defense, it's Joe Landry, Jolazin Landry, mentioned by GJ Kinney, another young guy to keep an eye on. Number 7 on defense, Chris Mills, number cornerback. You remember him? He's been with Bob. It's probably, I think it's 4th year with the Bobcats after transferring in from Mizzou. Number 7 on offense, Lincoln Perry, led the Bobcats in rushing in 2022. Missed all of last year with a torn ACL. Now we get Marty Perry and Jalen Jenkins. We got this running back room is stacked. That's what I mean. It's just they're stacked at most positions. They are 3 deep. It's hard not to gush over this team when you look at it. And I feel like you can roll the tape on pods in years past going into the offseason. I feel like last year, what did I say? 6 wins going into it. I really do. I try to calm down the hype, but this is at least a 10-win team when I look at it. And I look at the schedule. It's an easy schedule, relative easy schedule, I should say. Where are we at? Number 8. Number 8 on defense, Tavian Coleman, my guy. Like Tavian Coleman a lot. Shout out to him for the single digit. On offense, number 8, Brad Jackson. Lots of praise from GJ Kinney at that press conference on media day. Obviously you can go to the school's website or their YouTube page and you can find those press conferences. I'll make sure to load them audio only. I'll do that as soon as I finish recording. I'll load that on there. Number 9 on defense, Caleb Coleman at that star position. Number 9 on offense, Connor Fox. Sorry, Caleb Coleman's defense. But number 9 on offense, Connor Fox, tight end. Expect good things from him this year. For good measure, we'll do number 10, Joey Hobart, wide receiver. I'm sure Joey Hobart could have had a single digit if he wanted one. Probably just wanted to keep number 10 the same way Ishmati could have had number 6, apparently, which PJ Hatter would have had to switch numbers. But apparently he could have switched from 21, but he wanted to keep 21. So there you go. There's your single digit guys for this team. I feel like it's always interesting to see who gets the single digits, even like which transfers or do they feel really came in and they're all in right away. They were fully committed to the workouts and learning the team scheme and all of that. It's real interesting to see who comes in and has that immediate praise and impact. Little more preseason award stuff. McLeod and Mahdi both named to the Maxwell Award watch list. 3 players in total were named from the Sun Belt. Were named to the Maxwell watch list. 2 of those 3 are from Texas State. The other one's Joey Aguilar, quarterback over at App State. Just 2 G5 teams with multiple players on the list. Liberty's the other one with Caden Slater and Quentin Cooley, 2 really good players right there. Another note on the Maxwell list is TJ Finley, also on the list. TJ Finley, Texas State quarterback last year, set the single season passing yards record for the school. Was it 3,464, something like that? It's around there. And then he left. And the Bobcats replaced him with the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year, Jordan McLeod, which I still can't believe. Thinking back to January, it's crazy how that all shook out. We won't waste too much time dwelling on that, but Jordan McLeod's here. That's all I know. But yeah, TJ Finley on the list. I'm still a TJ Finley fan. Came in here, did some great things, handled himself very professionally. And he left. That's just kind of the way it goes with college football these days. But let's talk about first week of fall camp. Like I said, we got to do interviews on Wednesday. That was some good stuff. I'll load those audio only presser pods. Remember those from last season? We'll start getting those going again this year. Biggest takeaway was the best first day that GJ Kinney's ever had. That's what he said. It was the best first day. And a lot of that has to do with what we were talking about earlier, the continuity of actually being here from the end of the season into the off season. Just being able to be keep keep instilling the message that he has from last year, and bring it into the following year and be a part of the process. The takeaway that I got from that was a lot of underclassmen to keep our eyes on. Mentioned Joe Landry earlier. Chris Don Jr. was another guy. Mentioned Amari and Atwood is another player to keep an eye on. Those are guys who were true freshmen last year, didn't play a whole lot, but shine when they did. Some true freshmen to look at as well. Jordan Martin at receiver, Tice Williams at safety, and Brad Jackson at quarterback. I thought that was some real high praise where GJ was saying that it felt like Brad Jackson had just been around for a lot longer than a true freshman. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this a nice, digestible, short episode as the season's coming on because I've got some fun stuff planned. For the next episode, we're going to have Sam LaBelle on. He works for EA Sports. He's a Tech State grad. We're going to talk all about college football 25, his journey going from a Bobcat to working for EA Sports. Excited for that one. So look out for that one. A lot more interviews and good content coming out. We're going to start trying to hit it twice a week now with fall camp hitting, getting into the season. So get ready. More content. It's been a little bit of a desert for Win Now or Get Bent during the off season with a lot of things going on in my life, a lot of things going on in the Wizards' life. It was mainly my life with the kid being born. Shout out to Madden. He's 4 months today. So shout out to my guy Madden. It's my son born in April. He's come a long way in those 4 months. I'm really proud of that guy. But now things, starting to settle, starting to come up on this season. We're going to be hitting it hard. So look out for a lot of that stuff. But we'll wrap it up with this. I've been ending it this summer with a rat poison segment, talking about some of the rat poison. And I don't want to give too much of that. So yeah, there's still some haters out there, and let's not forget that. So I'm gonna challenge you out there. Send me the Tech State haters. Show me what they're saying. The non-believers, the ones who don't believe that Texas can be taken back by the Bobcats. Send me all of those because I've got a couple here, and they're both from the same guy. I gave him too much love on the last episode, so I had to make sure and be like, I know there's times when Big Game Boomer makes me mad. It's more times than not. Shout out to Big Game Boomer. This isn't a personal thing. I like what they do with the content. But they put out a top 50 offensive coordinator list and a top 50 head coach list. No Bobcats, no GJ Kinney, no Mac Leftwich. I think that's a travesty. You got to at least give Mac some love. Come on. GJ, they're both top 50. They're definitely both top 50. And this wasn't even worth a graphic web. We don't even have to do it. I'll send it to you. We'll see if you decide you want to do it. But it's not even worth a graphic being put up. But send me the haters. Send me the haterade that as Webb likes to call it. We'll get that. We'll start sipping on a little haterade at the end of these pods. Just to level it out a little bit. I feel like I start the pod and I'm doing a lot of praise, just gassing up the Bobcats. And we gotta level things out a bit. So let's see who doesn't believe, and we'll cold takes expose them when the season starts. But that's it. We'll wrap it up. I'm trying to keep these a little shorter. I mentioned earlier we're going to change it up, do more segments where it'll be little blasts of Win Now or Get Bent instead of one big fat episode. We're going to start making it a little not bite size, maybe like appetizer size. Just something to snack on without getting too full. So yeah, we'll keep these nice and brief. But check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/win now or get bent. Thanks to our Patreon subscribers for supporting us, keeping us going. Check out our merch, WNOGB.com. I'm wearing the Sicko shirt right here. If you're watching our YouTube, Win Now or Get Bent on YouTube, get you a nice Sicko shirt there. Subscribe on that YouTube. Check us out on Twitter, X at Win Now or Get Bent, on Instagram at WNOGB. I haven't posted on Instagram in forever. We gotta do something with that. But yeah, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff all over the place. It's that time of year. We got to get those subscription numbers up on the YouTube. So, make some fake accounts for your family members or your loved ones or your hated ones. Do you have any hated ones? Go ahead and make them some of those. Thanks to TGC LLC, theglendalecollective.com, to Chilsey.com, and to the wizard, Zachary Webb, my guy, the great producer here. Thanks for always making us look great. And to you, the sickos. Thank you, sickos. Another season, a great season. Is this going to be the best FBS season in Texas State history? Ooh, to this point, I should say. It very well could be because it feels like last year was. So will they improve on it? It feels like it. We've talked it all up. I feel like it's going to be a big year, Bobcats. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a fun year. It starts with 3 straight games at home. Then you get one at NRG, which isn't too far. We'll be there. Not too far in Houston. So we're getting there. We're getting closer and closer. But all right, stay on the lookout for lots of good fall camp content. We'll be out there at practice tomorrow on Saturday. They have nice little media sessions. They'll let us come out on Saturdays. We'll be pumping out the good stuff coming up. But thanks again to all of you out there. I'd be shouting out to the void if you weren't tuning in. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see a lot of you sickos at some tailgates and at the game at UFCU Stadium. Let's all get used to it. UFCU Stadium. I hear the college campus tours guy is going to be here. Let's go. Look out for him as well. That's lots of good buzz around the Bobcats. But all righty, sickos. Win now or get bent.